everybody, welcome back to the channel and the riveting, most exciting part 2 of our 3-part Make a Blog series. Today we are delving back into the world of Tailwind, the most desired part of this series. If I'm being honest with you, I'm very excited to kind of live code some Tailwind to add some style and pizzazz to our blog. If you don't know what Tailwind is, check out some of my earlier videos to kind of get up to speed on it. But without further ado, let us start coding some winds that have tails. What? So, first things first. I have the blog. It is nice and ugly. And I want to actually install Tailwind to my Next.js installation. So to do that, they have a lovely little integration guide, custom made for Next.js, quite nice. I've already created a project, so I'm actually going to add Tailwind. I'm using Next.js 10, so let's copy this over here. Go to my VS Code and add in my deps. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Nope, Yarn is nice and fast. Next we have to generate some Tailwind config files because tooling would not be complete without some more config files in my root directory. Let's use this little command to bootstrap for me right here. Nice. So if I go here, I can see all the new files that have been changed. I have here these 2 files bootstrapped for me. It's creating a minimal Tailwind config file and a minimal post CSS. Tailwind actually uses post CSS under the hood. All of their utility functions are actually post CSS utility functions. I want to remove unused styles in production. So if you were to include Tailwind in full, you would actually get a very large CSS file because there's a lot of files in there. There's a lot of styles in there that you wouldn't necessarily use all at once. So what they use is this thing called purge CSS, and what it's doing here is we actually go to Tailwind. It's hard to talk here, purge right there. So what this line is doing is that when I am running through the compile part of making my website, this is telling Tailwind to look through these files, these JS, TS, JSX, TSX components as well. And essentially, purge CSS is kind of a funny little tool. It essentially just greps for class names. And it follows some heuristics. So it says, okay, I see this class name, I see this class name. And then it knows that you're using these class names, and it'll purge all the rest. This, of course, comes with some gotchas. If you're dynamically making class names, then it won't know that you're actually using it, because if you're creating it dynamically, purge CSS will not know what that looks like until actual runtime, so it can actually purge some styles that you're already using. But I've never had an issue with purge CSS, but it's a good thing to be aware of what's going on here. So I've saved that purge setting, and then I actually have to include Tailwind in my project. So I'm actually so there's 2 ways that you can include Tailwind in a Next.js project. One, you can just import the built CSS itself, or you can actually use, let Next.js generate the Tailwind styles for me, which I actually like because it gives me flexibility if I want to actually extend Tailwind or make my own class names. God forbid if I wanted to. So I'm going to go to styles here. I'm actually just going to kill all that, so I don't really want it. Save that. And that's already being imported because Next.js already did. Okay, I think that's it. That's all I need to do. So now if I do yarn dev, spin it up, and I go back to my website, refresh the page. Building, compiling all the... There we go. And it looks even uglier because if you've seen a previous video of mine about Tailwind, by default, Tailwind actually includes a, I can never find here, pre-flight. It's a set of base styles for all Tailwind projects, and it essentially just zeroes out any browser styles so that every Tailwind project on top of that for every browser is the same. So one of the things that it does is it actually makes lists unstyled, which is why my nav, they used to have nice little list bullets, is just vanilla CSS right now. But I have Tailwind installed. My editor is saying, what the hell is this add Tailwind rule? Which makes sense because it's a separate tool, but let's just do add Tailwind. And now we are ready to rock with some pair programming. And by pair, I mean I'll be talking to you and you'll be listening. I'm nervous, aren't you? So first things first, let's make our overall layout. From the previous video, I gave a little chat about what this old little app file is, and we're going to kind of lean into it more. I'm going to make a very basic, just centered page with a title and a nav. Very simple. I'm not really going to kind of break the mold here, but I just want to kind of give people a flavor for what it looks like to actually use Tailwind. We'll have class name. I want this to be MX Auto, to say that this is going to be, you know what, actually might have to do, might have to reload this to make sure that all my Tailwind IntelliSense works, because honestly, I am lost if I don't get that. Let me just make sure that it's showing. Definitely install the Tailwind VS Code. There we go. There we go. Because now it can actually translate to me what the heck the Tailwind class names is saying, and I don't have to guess because there we go. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's honestly how I'm able to actually do Tailwind. If it's not for that plugin, I'm lost, and it's like really hard to use Tailwind otherwise. Ain't gonna lie. Bye, bye, bye. Everything's still good? Yes, we are rocking and rolling. All right. So we have MX Auto. Let's do width. The width of the whole thing. Actually, the fifth width be. Actually, what's cool is for width, they actually have these percentage for the entire page. So let's actually do 3/5. See what that looks like. Cool. 3/5. It's centered. Maybe I want to do a little bit bigger. It looks a little bit small. Let's do 12th. Let's do 8/12. Nope. Let's do 10/12. Yeah, no, let's do 9/12. Yes. See, this is actually one of the things I love about Tailwind is I can kind of just play with the building blocks it has to see what feels right, because I often don't know. We're going to do header. Is that it? I'm like now questioning. Yeah, that's a okay, header. We want there to be, it's late when I'm recording this, and I'm kind of forgetting what HTML is, so that's why I was like, what is header? Is that actually a valid HTML element? And it is, and I thought it was. I just completely forgot what my name was, which is always healthy. Let's move nav inside of header. And we're going to have this be, my name of my site. So let's actually just be h1, my blog, like that. So here we have it. This is what's so funny to me about Tailwind is that everything's unstyled. There's nothing is styled, so you have to just kind of build everything itself. So this is going to be text. Let's do 6 extra large. Yeah, sure, that fine. Looks good. Let's do bold. I always got this Tailwind style confused. Font bold. Font, because it's a font thing. So let's do font bold. Let's save that. I'd like to see my changes applied. Cool. I want to have this centered. Middle. What is it? Does center work? Nope. How do you center things? Align self. Nope. Center text align. I want text alignment. Text center. Sure, that makes sense. Text center. There we go. Nice and big. I want some padding on the top and bottom. So let's do MY. So it's margin on the Y axis. So top and bottom. And we're just going to have this be, let's say 4. I want to be nice and spacey. No, that looks still a 2Y. Let's do 8. Double it. Yeah, that looks good, right? I don't know what 8 means, but it kind of fits in with everything, so I'll take it. My blog there looks fine. So nav, so this is the list of nav items, class name. I want this to be flex row. Yes, that looks correct. We're going to do space x4. This is literally one of my favorite Tailwind utility methods. And I think I could probably do this with Flex itself, but I'm kind of just showing this off here where this is doing some really fancy stuff where it'll help if you have a list of things where they're horizontal, vertical, or horizontal. It'll help just add spacing around everything. I actually want this to be centered itself. So how do I center? Let's do justify center. There we go. And this needs some pad margin on top and bottom. So let's do margin Y4. Yeah, that looks good, right? And I want these anchors to be styled. So now here's two ways of doing things, because I want all the anchors to look like, let's say, I keep doing class, text blue, right? Let's say we want all the anchors to be blue as like they normally are. That means I would have to apply it everywhere. Either I have to apply these class names everywhere, which sucks, or I have to make a custom component, which seems like a lot of overhead. So instead, what you can do, let's actually do this first. Let's see what I want it to look like, and I'm going to show you what happens. Let's say text blue. This is a little bit too faint, so let's make it a little bit darker. Let's do 800. Too dark. Let's do 600. Yeah, that looks good. When you hover, we're going to do text blue, make it a little bit lighter, so it's at 600. Let's go to 500. So now when you hover over, nice little subtle effect there. Looks good. I think that's it. I think I'm fine just with that, frankly. So what I can do here is go styles, and I can do a layer. So at layer is a Tailwind construct, which kind of tells Tailwind where to inject these styles into. This is going to be base, and I want to actually make anchor tags, and I'm going to apply this stuff here. So let me actually take this and yank it, save that. It goes back to where it was. Do this here and save this. It's going to take a little bit to compile because it's doing some fun things, but essentially it's applying these Tailwind utility class names to every anchor, which means if I did things correctly, here we go. All my anchors are now styled the same. Look how nice that was. And it's just all the same everywhere. That was so nice. That was so easy. I'm fine with this, right? The overall nav. So yeah, this is kind of the nav. I mean, I guess if I wanted a footer, I could do that too, but I don't really care. Not for my sake right now. If I wanted to, let's make this title a little bit fun. Let's do shadow medium. That was weird. No, don't want to do that. Text. What else I want to do here? Text. Yeah, I think that's fine. What else could you do? What else does... Then also, because I'm not a designer, I always get confused like what you can actually do with things, and that's why I kind of like Tailwind to kind of give me ideas for text, or even still their ideas here. Show me some text. Text large. I don't know. Let's go back here again. Text opacity, text decoration. Nah, I'm fine with how it is. Let's just keep going. We have the overall layout done as far as I'm concerned. This is the overall layout, and here's the content over here. We're just going to say make the overall layout. I'm going to try being fancy here. Just going to kind of get you a taste of things that you can actually then build on top of. So let's go to our fun index file and actually make a layout of all of the blog items. So I actually don't need this title anymore because I already have that at the top. Sweet. And I'm actually going to extract this into a list blog item. So list blog item. We'll just call this slug title date content. This is the fun part of React where it becomes very easy to just extract things as you need to. I don't need a key here because the keys go on the outside. And then here, let's do a little from that little select item dot, do Command D, Command D, Command D, delete that to make that all look correct. Let's save that, and then we can actually go here and do lists, blog list item. I think actually sounds better to me. Blog list item. That's going to annoy me otherwise. Blog list item, let's say key is item.slug, and then we're just going to pass through all the other stuff. Now let's delete this, we don't need it. So let's save it, and nothing changed, which is what I was hoping for. But now I can actually focus on the styling in here. So let's make all these little cards, right? Let's do a border, and I'll do border color. Well, what should our theme color be? Let's do blue. We'll do blue. We'll do a faint little blue of 300. There we go. We'll say it's rounded. Nice. This is looking a little bit claustrophobic to me, so let's actually use my favorite space Y. Let's do 4 to keep with the same theme as before, to keep the spacing consistent. It's nice that it makes it so easy to do so. And then let's do a padding everywhere of 4. That is my theme of the day. P-4. Nope, P-4. There we go. That looks not too bad. I actually hate this blue color now. Do I want it to be darker or fainter? I don't know. Dark, light, fainter. I think that looks a little bit better, right? Yeah, not too bad. Let's do a shadow. Not terrible. I actually hate this blue actually now. Let's do purple instead. No, we'll keep it blue. I'm not going to change things too much. Let's do a little bit darker. Yeah, I don't know. These colors, it feels like it's just one big link. It needs to be a different theme. We'll do black. Yeah, that looks good. Nice little black theme. For the title, we want these to be a little bit bigger. So let's say class name equals text. We'll just do large. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. We can say bold, right? Text bold. I think I finally understood how that works. Text, is it? I thought it was text bold. Did I do that before? Font bold. Why is one text? Why is one font? I don't know. That's probably because I don't know how. Does that look like too much? I just did. I remember reading some article that you don't want to have. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm just going to remove this date for now. Actually, I'm going to come back to it. I'm not going to deal with it. Actually, so I want to get this formatted nicely, this date content. And the best way to do so is this library. So there's Moment.js, which everyone knows, loves, and has used many times, but it's a little bit bloated nowadays. So I actually like to use this new one called date functions, which is kind of like Lodash for date functions. If you know what Lodash is, just a bunch of utilities. So let me actually add this yarn, add date-fns. Installing. Cool. So let me start back up the old dev server. And you can always look at the documentation here to kind of see how to format things as you want. You can change. This is because my screen's so small, but you can kind of, just like you used Moment in the past, it's the same thing you can do here. You can easily format dates to show what you want here. Huge calendar. I actually took a little, I stole a format because I don't want to spend the time to like hunt and peck there because there's no fun there. So let me actually just go here and cheat. I want to import the format function. And then there's some parse stuff I want to do, which I don't know if I need actually. So I want to, what is this? I don't need to add. I'm just going to do add hours. No, this is just going to be date. Yes, okay. So let's see if this works. I'm going to go over here. Let's save that. Great, good, thanks. I hate it. Let's do parse ISO. Is that what I wanted to do? I swear I'll explain this to you as soon as I understand what the hell I'm doing. Let's say, let's go back to data. These are 2 strings. What does that actually mean when you call that? Essentially, I don't have the format right when I'm calling this. Oh, I want this to be 2 ISO string, right? That's what I want, yes. Okay, let's put this into a format that date functions will understand. There we go, already happy again. Here we go, nice and formatted. That is the date of today, nice and easy. So I'm parsing the date as a string, and then this is the format string that I'm using to actually show it here. So nice and here. I actually want this to be a little bit understated. So let's actually go here and we'll say this is going to be text gray 600. I'll also do font or text. We'll do small. Yep, just like that. Actually, I want to go a little bit smaller, extra small. Yeah, why not? I want to make your eyes bleed. This is fine, right? Let's actually add some hover to things. So let's actually go here, and we're going to say on hover, we're going to say shadow shall get bigger. There you go, nice little hover right there. Also, I can say on hover to do the border black, and we'll make this a little bit bigger. Border black 600. I don't know if that actually did anything. Border black. I don't know if that's doing anything, but I'm okay with that. And actually, I want to add animation here as well because it looks cool when things animate. So let's do transition. I always forget how to do this with transition, animation. Nope, don't want that. Let's go into the old docs to see what we should do. Transition property. There we go. Transition, background color, border color. Yeah, this is what I want. So they always have kind of the default, which includes most of the things that you'd want anyways. So let's actually do transition. Transition. There we go. Save that. Now. Oh, so with that, I also have to say how long it should transition. So I'm just going to copy and paste this to get things working as I want. And this, yes, is long, but I'm okay with it. Look at that. Got a nice little transition. Yeah, let's just do ease in. This is so subtle. Border. Let's do 200. I don't know what's going on, but I'm okay with it. And then also if I wanted to, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with this. So this we have the list of items. It's a little bit nice transition. Duration is a little bit slow, actually. Let's do 200. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Yeah. I want this to be more rounded too, actually. I am the worst designer, but because Tailwind just really makes it easy. So I can look. Let's do medium. Yeah, why not? So now I have these buttons. I can go into the blog, and here we have it. Nice little about, home. Things are looking good. Yeah. And then we want to style the actual page itself, I suppose. Yeah, so let's actually take this over here. And I guess there's a few ways that I could style this. I want it to be kind of similar, but not exactly the same. So let's actually go to bring this page up. And I have here the title. Let's use the title. Just have it as font bold, which we can start there. So we'll do, this actually should be H2 because the title is the actual page. Do text 2XL. There we go. Yeah, I'll do font bold. And then let's actually bring over this as well, the date. I'm just going to copy and paste it for now. Let's bring this over here. oops, bring this up there, save that, nice and formatted. This doesn't have to be as small here. And then I want to make the content have a little bit of a line. Can I do that? Let's do this. Let's make this as like the header div, which I've done countless times, but let's actually do class name equals border bottom, border width, border bottom? Nope, border. How do you do just the bottom border? Border width, LB. Okay, so let's do border dash B dash do 2. And we'll do border color, border black, border gray. There we go, border gray. There we go. That looks a little bit funky, that's fine. Is there even a thing of border black? Is that why things look so weird on here? So if I actually change this to gray. Oh, whoa. Yeah, how's that? That's crazy. Border gray, this is too much. Let's bring this down. Yeah, look at that. This is animating to itself, so let's actually go down a little bit. There we go. Actually, let's invert that. Let's do default 1, and then when you hover over, it becomes more pronounced. Yeah, that looks better. I am not a designer, but I already know that that looks better. Look at that. It's like bouncing off the screen. That's so cool. And I go to the post here, and I don't really care about that as much, but the content is fine. The content is fine, and I want there to be margin bottom of 4, because 4 is my theme. Look at that. There we go. The content is right there, and that's the text. This looks pretty small. Let's go up to 4. Nope, 3. Cool. All right. That's some basic styles right there. We've got some styles, basic content, and that's kind of covering it for the Tailwind part of this blog post. I can already hear somebody in the comments screaming about the monstrosity that this is. You know what I say to you? I don't care. I think this is fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's definitely a little heavy, but I very clearly know exactly what's going on here. I can mentally put in my mind what's happening here and edit it freely. It's kind of funny because this is like what Tailwind almost is CSS and JS, but just the API is very different. It's this abstraction of API content here. But I mean, I'm not terribly upset with everything. I mean, I can definitely tweak it more, but that's not the point of this video. I just want to show you how you can kind of scaffold things up nicely and easily. Yeah, that was fun. That was cool. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I did. That was fun. Let me know what you think about Tailwind. We actually saw it in action. That was kind of cool, right? Got a little blog styles going on. Let me hear about it. And I'm curious to see you again in the next video. That's happening next week. So until then, stay happy, stay coding.